hear you. Welcome to the spaces, guys. Welcome, Jaro. Today's topic, as you guys can see, is sales masterclass. You want to take over, Alan?
Yeah, let me just fucking start. You can make Jar a speaker too. I'm sure he would add something. Let me send this to Mina. Mina and also Trenton. Okay, let me start off, Marcus, with the fucking story, the anecdote that was the genesis of the idea for this space. Fucking the mad sales call this morning. Tell us the story of how we turned a seller into a prospect, a fucking customer.
Well, yeah, this was an interesting morning. It was an interesting start to the morning for sure. So we DM'd a guy. Well, a guy DM'd us basically, telling us that he wanted to have a call with us, considering some podcast or whatever. He had a service that he was offering us. So we jumped on a call with him, me and Alan. And I was just sitting there, basically smiling at the camera, while Alan was riffing away, talking to this guy, poking holes in his offer. He was offering content, short form content creation for us for a certain price. But then we poked holes in his strategy, basically telling him what was missing, and we turned around the entire conversation and got a sale. Do you want to give the detailed description, Alan?
Yeah, so I get on, I'm wearing a blanket, I'm fucking having a cigar, no breakfast, as usual, and this guy DMs Marcus. I'm going through his DMs, just replying to people, trying to convert them into fucking customers. You can make Mina and Jara speakers, by the way, Marcus, and Trenton as well, if you have the time. And anyway, he DMs us, and I just reply to him back. He just sends a dog shit fucking cold DM, which is, I hope he's not listening to this, but it wasn't that good. It's just completely a terrible description of his fucking offer, and just a terrible fucking opener. And so I just respond to it just because whatever, maybe he can help us with short form content with something. And he, to my surprise, he just responds immediately. It's like, hey, we can get on a call if you want. I'm like, sure, yeah, I'm free right now. And he sends a meeting link and we get on. And I can tell he's like a kind of out there personality. He's extroverted and he's, smiling and, he thinks he's got this game down, but he didn't know who he was dealing with under this fucking blanket looking like a homeless person, starving with no food. So I was just like interrupting him, cutting him off because like initially I wanted to, I was actually gonna take his fucking service because we actually kind of sort of need what he was selling, but he was just doing such a poor job that I was just speeding it up a little bit because I don't want to waste time, right? I'm harsh when I'm selling to people, but I'm even harsher when I'm being sold to. Because if you're gonna take my money, at least play by my rules. Talk how I want you to talk, no ums and ahs. Tell me exactly what I need to hear, and then take my money and get lost. Go do some work. That's how I roll. So, he was just doing a terrible job. So I kept cutting him off and stuff. And then I realized after a while, like he's really, we can really help him with, we do high ticket coaching for people who are trying to grow their agencies. So pitched him on that offer. And we just kind of flipped it around. And there were so many occasions where I wish I would have recorded it. People would have paid. There's half the people in this space would pay $500 just to view that recording because it's that good. Like, there were so many tactics. You can watch it back 14, 15 times. I can make like a commentary, pause the video, say this part. Yeah, you see how he said this? This is what psychology is trying to do. I've noticed that. I fucking deflected it. I fucking snuck a little uppercut on him. And this is what I psychologically did. And then we play the video 5 more seconds. And then you look at his response, his body language, and be like, yo, so pause the video. Look at how he's sitting now. This is the psychological effect of what I just said to him. This is how he set that up. Boom. For fucking 35 minutes straight. How much fucking money would that be worth? Anyway, I was, deflecting shit. He was going back and forth, kept trying to sell me while I was trying to sell him. In the end, I got the deal. So I'm a fucking G. That's how that fucking call went. And then after that, I fucking took a breather and had another cigar because my body needs to be powered on something. And me and Marcus looked at each other and were like, this should be a fucking space. And credit to Mina for saying yesterday, because yesterday on a space that Mina was on, slightly later time than today, a prospect comes in, right? Trent, you're going to like this. A prospect comes in to the fucking space yesterday because I'm talking about boxing, a boxing analogy, right? He's having his first amateur fight in kickboxing soon. Mason's his name. He owns like this blue collar company, like a painting company, right? We start talking shop. Eventually, it gets into business. Eventually, it gets into money. Obviously, with me in the space, and we have this like in-depth conversation about him starting a software company, and it's like live in front of I don't know, God knows how many people, like 30 people. And Mino's just listening to it. I thought everyone was bored to death, so I was just kind of trying to speed run it. But I was trying to do my analysis, my deep analysis, my intel gathering, my opening scouting, as usual, in a speed run version because I just didn't want everybody bored. And I actually had to kind of entertain this guy because he might be a lead, right? He might be a good client. We might be able to help him out. But it was, I guess, interesting to hear. So Mina was like, we need to do the next space on sales. So I usually don't prepare. I usually don't take notes for shit. We just got off a sales call right now where we're trying to sell a software that doesn't exist yet. And no preparation at all. You know, talking with 5 people on the other end of the phone. Still fucking massacred it, but they're fucking broke and they can't pay us. So fuck them. But for this fucking space, I wrote down some actual notes because there's some ground cover. Ladies and gentlemen, there is some fucking ground cover. That's why it's called the Restricted Sales Masterclass. Marcus, you've been in my physical vicinity for the last 48-ish hours. Jar, you've talked to me on the phone. Mina, you've talked to me on the phone. Trent, you've talked to me a lot on the fucking phone about fucking nothing but making money and making moves. You guys all know how valuable this fucking conversation is. So buckle up. If your chair has a seatbelt on it, fucking fasten that motherfucker. Get some fucking popcorn, because we got some ground to cover. Let me do some fucking bullet points for you here. Some fucking teasers in the next 45 minutes. Gonna blow your fucking life out of the water. Matching needs with closing skill. Not being a sales geek, because no one wants to be a geek. How I learned sales. Question I get asked all the time. Curiosity. A very difficult concept to learn in sales. Most people fuck it up because they're geeks. Everything is a sell, especially in content, is for the funnel geeks. Handling qualifications or case studies. The stupid objection. How many people have you done this for before? Fuck does it matter? Do you need to know what my customers look like? Fucking how old they are? What I did for them to pay the invoice? No, you fucking don't. Anyway, how to deal with that, right? How to deal with the case study objection. And this is something to do with drug dealing, okay? We're not going to teach you how to deal drugs, not in this space. If you need to know, fucking DM me. Just kidding. I didn't say that in public. FBI, fuck off my ass. But handling that fucking case study, I need to know your previous clients, I need to see a case study objection, has to do with drug dealing. A fucking teaser for you. You see what I fucking did there? If you're paying attention, if you're taking notes like you fucking should, you would have had a pen and paper, wrote down. 2 points ago, I said curiosity. And I just fucking did that right here. I said, handling qualifications has something to do with drug dealing. You're going to hear about that later. Fucking curiosity. Now you're going to listen to this whole space. Pay attention. Everything's a fucking sell. What did I say? That was the previous point. See, I'm fucking genius riffing this. I don't have any fucking food. Last one. Without having an ego. Get rid of your fucking ego in the sale. I might sound like I have an ego, but I really don't care if I live or die. Anyway, let's go through fucking point by point. Marcus, what do you think about this? You fucking ready?
I'm ready. I don't think they're ready.
Jara, Mina, any fucking comments before we launch into this fucking...
Oh, I'm so ready. You know what? Just keep talking. Do not stop.
Launch it.
Okay, first point. Point number 1. If anyone interrupts me, Marcus, fucking block them unless it's a question and unless it's fucking you, Jara, Mina, or Trent. I don't want to hear no bullshit, okay? We got fucking 44 minutes to deliver this shit before your friend Christian comes and we punch the shit out of him. I got a busy fucking schedule. It's a lot more interesting to beat guys up than talk crap about stuff I already know to you guys. Anyway, matching needs with closing skill, not being a sales geek. I was having this conversation with Trenton yesterday and a little bit today as well. People say it's very difficult to do sales. It's actually not that difficult because you just have to be a fucking geek. It's not that difficult to be a dork, right? You just need to sit down and study and do your little theory and be a professional, whatever. But the reason people look at my sales skills and think it's appealing is because I'm not a fucking sales geek. I don't use my skills in sales just to get paid. I get paid, but I don't just use it for that. I use it to convince people. I'm holding a fucking public audience right now. on the spaces in public, immortalized on the timeline for eternity. This is not sales, geekness. This is using sales in every aspect of your life. If you're good at setting up a fucking conversation, if you're good at gathering intel, finding an opening, watch for when their hand drops, fucking liver punch that motherfucker. If you're good at shutting people down, if you're good at stepping on their throat, taking all the money that they got, you'll quickly realize, once you get good at that, that can be used for many, many, many more situations than just getting paid. Marcus, you want to tell the story of how I closed you on fucking meat and how I ended up in Norway? Really quick.
Yeah, sure. All right. So I called Alan asking him about learning code because I was studying programming at university and I needed some fast tracking because I wanted to stay ahead of my fucking class, and I also wanted to make a sauce for hairdressers. Yeah, you heard it right, hairdressers. Yeah,
SAS.
SAS. So I jumped on a call with Alan, and he just got straight to the point. He was really direct, and he also talked a lot about the potential outcome of me, well, basically paying him money for coaching and stuff like that.
Yeah, speed run it, buddy. I want to get like the whole story up till like today.
Okay. So we worked together for 3 weeks on building a Discord clone, and I actually made the Discord clone. I have the link to it and everything. And I realized the immense potential of working closer to Alan and being the backbone of his company, and also being able to scale it to something really great, basically. So
yeah, talk about you coming or not coming to East Europe and me fucking coming to Norway. Talk about that process. Talk about all the conflict.
yeah, okay. So we were on a call for like 2 hours almost every day for like 4 days, talking about me coming there, because initially I was thinking about going to Romania, but because I'm from Norway and we are a reserved people, I had some initial scares, and I was kind of hesitant by going all on my own, leaving the country, everything like that, to a guy that I knew only over the phone or over the internet. So then he decided to come to Norway to break every single barrier of doubt. And he actually arrived here 2 days ago, and now we're sitting in a fucking apartment, smoking cigars and doing work.
Yeah, so thank you, Marcus, for that beautiful fucking summary. But I want to draw you guys' attention to just look at that process as a sale. The entire process from the first time I ever talked to him, and I apologize if my voice sounds further away. I'm trying to light a cigar and not burn myself. But the entire process from setting up that initial conversation to puffing on cigars while thinking about how he's fucking needs to upgrade his life and not be a fuck me. I burned myself. Not be a fucking wagey. And handling all those objections, gathering intel about him and his personality, right? Handling those objections, coming back, have the handle objections be objected to. There were so many times he literally booked a flight ticket to come see me, and it burned. He literally didn't come because more objections came up that I didn't anticipate. Bouncing back from that, coming, the flight I decided to come to Norway, even though I really didn't want to because fuck West Europe. But I ended up coming here. The flight was fucking fucked up. Instead of 7 hours, it was 17. And handling all of those stuff while still getting work done. The entire fucking process was a sales process. So what's my point here, right? Don't be a fucking sales geek. If you're good at gathering intel, if you're good at closing, you got to think about using all those skills in different contexts in life. Contexts, that's probably not how you pronounce that word, but you understand what I'm saying. Apply it to more things than one. And the reason I put this point first is because don't be a fucking geek. Don't use your knowledge in just one fucking sphere. Trent, I'm looking at you. I'm not calling you a geek, but you're starting to see after, all our conversations, the possibilities of where you can apply yourself in what you're good at, which is stepping on people's balls and making money pour out their asshole, can be used in a lot more ways than one. It's not just for getting paid on a call. It's not just for getting paid $10,000 on a call. Why can't you sit across a guy who's blowing cigar smoke in your face and kind of half speaks Russian, half speak English, to close him on an arms deal for fucking $20 billion. You can do that too. It's the same fucking skill. Don't be a geek about it. Moving on here. I can leave room. If you have questions, write them down. Or, unmute yourself, anyone who's speaking. Make Trenton a fucking speaker if you can, Marcus, so that he can chime in if he wants. But if you have questions, just unmute yourself, fucking interrupt me. Or just save it for the end, write it down, whatever. Moving on here. Next point. How did I learn sales? I get this question all the time. Okay? How did I learn sales? To be honest, I really don't fucking know. Because I've never studied any of this shit. A lot of the shit that I'm telling you, the way that I'm delivering this crap, the way I talk, I don't see it anywhere else. People make parallels. It's like, hey, do you know of Luke Belmar? You sound like him. Or have you heard of like this guy and that guy? I barely fucking watch YouTube. All the content that I watch is like myself fucking talking, just listening to, past calls and stuff like that, just analyzing shit. I don't need to fucking jerk off to some guy talking about business. I am business. So how did I learn sales? I don't need to. I never watch content and stuff like that. Sure, I mean, I know some of the gurus like Grant Cardone and Gary Vee and all that stuff. I watched a bit of their stuff like years ago, but all these tactics are just from being punched in the fucking mouth. Guys, the fastest way for you to learn anything is to jump in the deep end unprepared. It's just that you need to grow some balls. That's all you need. You don't need fucking scripts. You don't need theory. You don't even need me, right? Most of the time people like, my energy and presence just because they're outsourcing their balls. That's kind of what it is. So, I'm not saying they don't have balls, but maybe they don't have enough. That's what it is. So they just end up just piggybacking off my courage. If they had the same thing, they wouldn't need me. Just go into the ring, get punched in the face. That's how I learned sales. Just have enough fucking conversations. The more conversations you have, the better you get at fucking all this stuff that I'm telling you. All this stuff that I learned comes from years of countless fucking conversations in dozens of languages, most of which I didn't understand. Where I have to use a fucking translator. My fucking cigar went out. What a loser. In dozens of fucking conversations. And just learning all these tactics on the fly. I'll tell you a quick story. Before this fucking Spaces, I was on a sales call to sell software that doesn't exist. It's a pre-sale. With no plan, even though the meeting was scheduled a while ago, but as usual, I left at the last minute and nothing got sorted out. And I got on the call and there's like 4 people from the other side versus 1 me. It's like a 4v1 fucking gangbang. And they're all asking me like, they're all old guys, they're asking me all kinds of fucking technical questions and all this crap like case studies, who have you worked with before? What do I know, right? What am I thinking about? Answering all these questions doesn't put money in my account. I can't use the fucking beautiful case studies that I have to give you to pay my electricity bill, can I? It doesn't buy cigars. So I'm not interested. Fuck you. Pay the invoice or get lost. They're probably not going to end up being customers because I don't want to work with them anyway. Because they're, they're trying to be cheapskated. They're not willing to pay the price, and they're just being there's too much bureaucracy, right? It's too big of a company. But anyway, I've never been on a call. I haven't been on many calls that have that kind of structure before, but you just figure it out. There's a bunch of stuff that I slipped on that call. A bunch of times I caught some in the fucking chin, but you learn it. Next call will be even better. Next call will be even better, right? I didn't look up a fucking video how to fucking handle, multi-prospect, multi-stage corporate sales call like a fucking dork. Moving on. Next concept. Curiosity. Curiosity is actually a very difficult thing. Are you guys tired of me fucking talking, yelling at you on the phone, or is everyone okay?
We're good, keep going.
Okay. So curiosity is the hardest concept to fucking learn in sales. I talked about this with Trenton yesterday and today. I talk about this with Marcus fucking 18 times a day. Curiosity is the most difficult concept to learn in sales. Why is curiosity important? I'm going to make a very vulgar analogy. So the one woman in this space I know is very difficult to offend. I hope, I don't know, maybe Blue Hippo is a woman. I don't know who else might be. But whatever. The women in this space I hope are difficult to offend. But I'm going to make an analogy which is fucking spot on. The reason curiosity is so valuable is I want you to think about a hot chick talking to a guy. Why is it so easy for a hot chick to just make a guy, send voice notes, crying to her, professing their love when they never met her, subscribing to her OnlyFans, just being a complete dork when she's never ever gonna meet him and never, said a kind word to him in his entire life? Because the guy is curious about a lot of physical things, which I explicitly described to Trenton on our private phone call, which I will not repeat on this public medium. And the guy is also curious about, you know, feeling the touch of a woman for the first time in his life. You know, feeling some kind of love and compassion. Wouldn't that be nice? I wouldn't know what that feels like. Just kidding. But anyway, like, there's a lot of curiosity from the guy's side towards the girl's side. Curiosity killed the cat. Curiosity will get you paid. So you have to make everything kind of a mystery. Be intentionally vague. Be, you know, kind of playful, you know? Be playful with the fucking customer. Be playful with the people you're trying to close. Don't give everything up front, because the thing about curiosity is if you don't invoke curiosity, what you're doing, you're explaining everything, right? What is explaining? You feel the need to explain. You're playing defense, right? You feel like you have to qualify to them now. And that's bad, because that has a bigger negative effect of just making them the authority. Why I gotta explain shit to you? Yeah, I'm gonna get on the call, unprepared. I'm gonna ask you for 50 grand for software that doesn't exist. And you're gonna get it in 2 months or 6 months. I don't know, don't ask me. Pay the invoice first. But why do I gotta explain it to you? The audacity to get on a call with me where I'm overcharging you for software that doesn't exist and I'm not sure when I'm gonna deliver it, and ask me to explain myself. The fuck is that? Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense in my head. So why am I going to explain it to them? Why am I going to defend it, right? Use curiosity. Because like I said, just to summarize what I said, the negative effect if you don't use curiosity is you just end up being in a submissive position. And authority is very, very, very important. A lot of these concepts are going to go over a lot of you guys' head because maybe you haven't sold as much as me or Trenton. But I know Trenton got this. I know, you know, over the course of a few conversations, he's going to be a fucking amazing fucking performer in this arena. But, you know, you can save these notes, catalog it for later. This authority thing is like an advanced concept, but I just snuck it in there. Just because it's very fucking important. In the titles, in the tweets, in the fucking openers and DMs, in the conversations, even the way you fucking talk. You guys are curious about this. Because I'm talking like a motherfucker, screaming on the phone. Keep fucking burning myself with my fucking cigar. What the fuck does this come from? Right? Why do I have so much to say? Why do I never stutter? Curiosity, right? Authority. You listen to me now. You buy something from me. I'll send you my fucking crypto wallet. Everyone send me $200 after this fucking space is over. Anyway, everything is a sell. Everything is a sell in content. This is specifically a lesson that we drew upon because we're making more content, me and Marcus, to send to clients that we coach. Because with clients that we coach, with people we work with, and Trenton knows this, because Trenton's in that squad as well, in our squad fucking killing beasts and making wins. Content touch-ups, me and Marcus call it, like the interactions are very important. There is a direct fucking correlation between the amount of time that a person spends with me and the success in their fucking life. I'm not trying to sound like an arrogant dickhead, but you have no choice sometimes but to acknowledge the laws of nature. I'm not that great of a person. I just talk straight and I tell the truth. So for some reason that's helpful to people because, I don't know, I don't know why. Ask the people. But there's a direct correlation as a result of just the amount of interaction they have with me and the success in their life, reaching their goals, reaching their KPIs, getting more sales, whatever, making stupid money. So a good way to deliver more interactions, me and Marcus were thinking, while also keeping the amount of work low rather than having a phone call all the time, is having content throughout the day. I sent Trent like a 40-second clip that I just record on the fly, you know, after like a little sales call that we had, just talking about some shit. It's a little interaction. I don't know if he got much value from it, but, you know, just 2 or 3 of those a day, you know, one every day, plus also some sales calls additionally. Just increase the aura a little bit, increase the fucking positive life energy. So we were exploring content like that for ourselves. And we realized that because we were talking about strategy, right? We're talking about going on TikTok, we're talking about starting a podcast and stuff like that. And Marcus is talking about strategy with me. And he's like, should I make like, what kind of pillars of content should we make? What kind of topics should we talk about? And I just kept going back to like, everything has to be a sell. Every single second of a goddamn TikTok video, of a goddamn YouTube video, of a goddamn podcast, of a spaces, has to lead on to the next thing. You gotta have a strategy, right? It's like water flowing through a fucking pipe. All you assholes just fucking throw some water in there and hope that it magically grows into money, like a money tree. Yay, I'm fucking rich now. Doesn't fucking work like that. Build some fucking pipes, a fucking irrigation system. Agrarian fucking farmer shit. Mina, what do you want to say?
I have to tell you, Alan, that you need to know that I implement everything you say. So right now I'm prospecting a client and I am writing an email. And you should see this. I sound so arrogant. So thank you.
No worries. Being an asshole, just being myself. If I can help people, nice. But everything's a cell in content. It's a pipe. Water has to flow through, right? You got blockages in the pipe, it doesn't matter what the fuck you got on the other end. Fucking gold $30,000 sprinkler system, it ain't gonna run if your pipe is blocked at the source. Everything has to be a cell. Because what are you on TikTok for? What am I on the Spaces for? I don't get paid for going on Spaces. I get paid when people on Spaces DM me because I'm a fucking G. And they're like, what do you do? Get on a call, solve their problem, get paid. Now they're fucking working in my business. That's what I want, right? I don't come here just to talk shit. I got better shit to do, like punch Marcus in the face. So it needs to be a pipe. There's a very defined pipeline. All the blocks must be gone. Everything must kind of funnel into the next stage. So everything is a cell in your content, but even in your DMs, even in your setting up calls, right? Even like Trent, you have plenty of this, right? Like every time you set up a call with a prospect, you're trying to ask them like a time and stuff like that. They're trying to ask you questions. Every single answer should be a fucking cell. Find some way. Fucking snake it in there. They ask you, are you free fucking 20 minutes from now? Instead,
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
saying yes, say something smart. You know what I'm saying? Sell it.
Yeah,
I'll
say,
try and make some time
Yeah.
in my busy schedule. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
be like, well, I'm about to go, blow up the White House, and then after, maybe after I do that, sure, I can hop on a call with you in 20 minutes from now. Make yourself interesting.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Sell it, right? Make every little thing that you have to give. If you have to fucking breathe a word in their presence, it's a fucking sell. I've been selling myself this entire fucking space. I don't have to sit here and talk to you, right? I want to talk to you, Trent, but, my point is the same. Everything must be a sell in your fucking DMs, in your fucking meetings, in your messages. Find a way to add a sell into everything. Make it so that they feel, by the time they get on the call, that the fact that they're on this same earth as you, inhabiting the same fucking planet, they owe you something. That's what it's gotta be. And this is hard to fucking wrap your head around if you're an agreeable person, if you've never done this before, but it's 100% gonna make a lot of things easier. Everything must be a sell. Now, handling qualifications, the next point. The most annoying motherfucking objection that I get, this piece of tobacco in my mouth. The most annoying objection that I get is the fucking case study objection. There's still fucking tobacco in my mouth. The fucking case study objection. How many people have you worked with? Show me case studies of your previous clients. Case what? I don't pay my rent with case studies, motherfucker. When are you gonna pay the invoice? When are you gonna pay? Are you gonna pay me for that case study? Fuck off. Anyway, always asking for trust. Always asking for who have you worked with before. I want to tell you about this nice leisurely activity which can be quite lucrative for your life, although very dangerous if you don't know the right people. It is the business of narcotics commerce. Moving plates of powder. Stealing packets of joy. Distributing them to the youth. Physically, chemically, physiologically intoxicating the population with drugs. Drug dealing. I'm very fascinated with drug dealing, not because I want to deal drugs. I'm rich already. I don't need to fucking deal drugs. I'm good at selling. I don't need to do that. I'm interested in drug dealing as a fucking business because it's genius. The fucking drugs themselves, if you know anything about them chemically, physically, how they're grown, how they're sourced, are dirt fucking cheap. It's a fucking plant, guys. It literally grows all over the place. Trends in the US Army. You know why the US Army is in Afghanistan? Fucking poppy, opium. That's like one of the world's largest fucking sources of fucking opium. What do you think? There's literally like US soldiers guarding poppy fields, if I'm not mistaken. I read that somewhere. I might be talking shit. I don't know. But my point is, drug dealing, the drugs themselves are actually quite cheap, but they end up being very expensive because I guess the supply chains, they have to smuggle them and all kinds of stuff racks up the cost. But despite the fact that it's a basically worthless substance that destroys your fucking life, and it's expensive and people still buy it, means that they really, really, really want their fucking heroin. Now, what does this have to do with case studies? This is what I told Trent on the call earlier as well. This is what I also told Marcus, and I told a bunch of coaching clients as well. Every time you get a question that you can't answer, bring it back to their pain point. Nobody cares about your beautiful case study. Nobody cares that you spent 30 hours fucking figuring out shit. Nobody cares that you're good at your service. Nobody cares if you can even do your job. If they have a pain point that is painful enough, if they have a headache that is painful enough, and they even have a slight snowball's chance in hell, thought that you can solve it, they will give you everything that they have. Drug dealing. They still buy that shit even though it's overpriced as fuck, and they know it fucks up their life because it solves a fucking huge ass pain point. It's a terrible deal. Buying overpriced fucking powder that you inject in your fucking blood, and your family hates you, you become like a disgust to society, and you ruin your prospects for like a future, and all that crap, and it's overpriced, and it kills you. But they still buy it, and they're hooked to it. You can say like, okay, there's like a physical dependence and stuff. Well, you can think about that as a need as well. They have a headache, they have withdrawal if they stop taking their fucking weed, their fucking whatever drugs. I don't know nothing about drugs because I've never done it. But you know what I'm saying? They have withdrawals, like physical symptoms, if they don't shoot up. So handle objections the same way. Here's a tactical fucking tip. When they give you a question and you don't have a case study, when you don't know how to handle this, they ask for past clients, you just start fucking yesterday. No problem. It's fucking normal. Focus on their pain. Dig really deep. Rub your fucking finger in their fucking broken bones. Make them feel the pain. When the pain is felt deeply enough, when they are aware enough of that pain point, and you give them some glimmer of hope that you might be able to solve it somehow, but you can't tell them how yet because you don't know what the fuck you're doing, they'll buy from you. There's obviously context to this. There's a lot of, we need to start doing like live sales calls recorded, me and Trent especially, and just break down like commentary. That shit would be worth fucking gold. We just do sales calls like we normally do, and just record a commentary over it, which takes like fucking 45 minutes, explain all the stuff that we're doing, explain the tactics here and there, whatever, and fucking package 8-10 of those in a course. People pay thousands of dollars for that. Anyway, last point before we go to a fucking discussion. Before the last point about ego, about how having an anti-ego is essential, I'm gonna get a fucking cigar and ask you guys, what do you think of the space so far? Someone say something.
I love this. I just love this because I'm the same way, and I just sometimes, being a female, they expect you to be nice and feminine, and I don't mind that. But the thing is that there's just so much fire in me. I can't stand these, how you get on a sales call, and it's like, oh, how about this? How about that? Like, do you want to do this or not?
Glad you enjoyed. I have a fucking cigar now, and I'm gonna attempt to light it without burning myself again. If the lighter will fucking work. No, it fucking does not. Ego. Having an anti-ego is very important. Look, when you're boxing, doesn't matter how good of a boxer you are, you gotta accept the fucking reality of the situation. You're stepping in a ring with somebody who's gonna hit you. He wants to hit you just as much as you want to hit him. So when you start boxing, guess what, motherfucker? You're gonna get hit. No matter how good you are. Mike Tyson had some one-punch knockouts, but he had fights where he took some heat as well. There were fights that didn't end in the first round, right? Muhammad Ali, same thing. Floyd Mayweather, whatever. They all ate it at some point. You can't be afraid to get hit. You have to roll with the punches, right? Here's how this relates to sales. You have to constantly be willing to bounce. You have to constantly be willing to be fluid. You cannot be attached to your pitch. You cannot be attached to your stupid plan. You cannot be attached to your price. You cannot be attached to your offer. You cannot be attached to who you think you are. You're there just as an instrument to help them solve their problem. Look, all this space is talking about fucking high pressure sales tactics, gang banging people to take, everything they got, make them mortgage their house and sell their children into slavery to pay your invoice, right? That's basically the theme of this space. That's basically what I do for a living. But let's not forget the fact that we're basically solving problems here. We're the fucking saviors of this earth. That's who we are, salespeople. There's no better way to solve problems than what we do. That's basically how the world works. That's why economics is a thing. Economics is the flow of fucking money. Money has to move. If you have fucking a population that doesn't spend money, it's not going to be a population for very long because everything fucking breaks, right? How do people spend money? How does an exchange take place, a transaction take place? Because of sales. Some funnel, some salespeople, me or Trenton get on a call, take your fucking mortgage. That's how it works. We're fucking sustaining the economy. We should get paid by the government for this shit, to be honest. Like, the best salespeople get fucking a check from the government for fucking keeping the country alive. What do you think, Trent?
Yeah, honestly, we should be getting bonuses and fucking pension checks at this point.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, my point is, you're doing them a service. You are an instrument for accomplishing a goal. You're a fucking soldier, an expendable, right? You are an instrument. You're a channel. You are not you. No one gives a crap about you. You can't give a crap about you because you're going to get punched in the face so many times. They're going to give you objections that you don't know how to handle. They're going to say things you're not prepared for. The internet connection is going to be shaky. You're not going to hear them. You're going to have to ask them to repeat themselves. Oh, sorry, could you please repeat that? I didn't hear you, because you're nervous and the connection doesn't work and it's not your fault, but it is your fault that you're nervous and you're going to sound like a dickhead because they just repeated it the second time and you still don't hear them because you're fucking nervous because it's your first time doing it. You're going to get hit in the face, right? It happens to us all. It happens to me every day. But you can't have an ego attached to it. If you think you're hot shit, you're going to get fucking a correction very, very, very quickly. I don't think I'm anything. All I think on every sales call is they got money and I want it. I want to take it from them, from their pocket to mine. I don't care what they think of me. You can think I'm a dickhead. I'll still take your money. I'll still take your money. Who wins in the end? Who wins? I still solve your problem. You're still down your money. Now your money's mine. Who gives a shit what I am? I can be a fucking rainbow unicorn. My fucking fake name on Twitter, bare profile picture. I still got talking to Trent. I still got talking to Marcus. Still got talking to Mina, Jara, all these other people, tons of other people. They don't care about you. You're just an instrument to solve their pain. Don't think you're hot shit if you're a salesperson. And I think that's a good final point to end on. Because if you're listening to this up to this point, you might think that, I'm walking around like I'm the fucking king of this earth. I have no concern if I live or die. My motivation to this, some of you people know if you've been on previous spaces, is very dark. I don't do this for a sense of like self-fulfillment or self-embellishment or to feel like a great person. I do this because I'm out to cut motherfuckers. I'm just an instrument for fucking blood. It doesn't matter to me what happens. I'm just here for a fight, right? It has no ego attached to it. I'm not fighting because I want to be like the king of this earth. I want to be king of this earth so that I can fucking inflict the most harm on people. Not to say, that's what I'm going to do, but fucking watch out. Anyway, that's the nice note to end this space on. Thoughts? That was the end of my points. Anyone chime in on anything?
What about you, Jara? Do you have some points?
Honestly not, bro. I'm just listening and soaking it in because I think you all know my history. Not history, but I'm just starting out, so got to add something to this for sure. I'm just soaking it in, learning from it, and that's it. Also, kind of a little bit under stress because I have to go soon because first kickboxing session.
Yeah, don't worry. We got 15 minutes anyway. So, Trent.
Yeah, just being a problem solver, man, and coming to people without that ego is important. People ask me all the time. Like I had a dude today in the DMs. He said, "What's your offer?" I said, "I don't have an offer." And he's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I just solve your problem." And he's like, "Well, what do you mean?" I'm like, "Well, hop on a call and find out." And he's like,
"Yeah,
what the fuck did I just do that? I just built curiosity. I don't sound like everyone else, and I'm a problem solver." He hops on the call. I say, "Hey, okay, tell me about your business." "Oh, you have this problem." "Okay, what is that problem? Tell me more about it. Dive deeper."
"Oh, how much is it worth to you?"
"Exactly. How much is it worth to you?" "Oh, it's worth $1,000. "Okay, let's do it." "Oh, some bullshit objection." "Okay. Well, what about this pain point?" I don't give a fuck about your objection. What about this pain point? Are you going to solve that yourself? No, you're not going to solve it yourself. Then pay me. Boom. There we go. And so it's like you're literally just a problem solver. They don't need to know exactly how you're going to do it. They don't need to know your offer that you have and all this bullshit. Like, offers nowadays are so stupid. And Alex Hormozy has psyoped so many people into thinking they need to read a 200-page book and think up for an entire week about what their offer is going to be. So it's irresistible when really no one gives a fuck what your offer is.
Facts. Facts. Mina,
Yes.
thoughts, comments, concerns?
Oh gosh, Alan, have I told you I'm in love with you?
First time I've heard that, but
Be-
much appreciated, I suppose.
No, this is serious. This is serious gold because a lot of people I see this. A lot of sales gurus, even on Twitter, especially on Twitter, money Twitter, they'll be like, "Yo, you need to do this. You need to do that. You have to do this." I'm like, "Stop it! You're just making this complicated. This is not your dating life." God. So it's very simple. Just build up the curiosity. Be interesting. Stand out a little bit, and then people will just flock to you. Just be yourself. That's the most important part, because a lot of people go on phone calls and be like, try to be somebody that they're not. It's just so awkward. It's just so awkward. But exactly what you said, and I support it fully. Everything you said, it resonates with me because it is true.
Nice.
You know what we
Let's just do the last fucking. Go ahead.
You know what we should do, bro? We should start just releasing our sales. We got to figure out a way to record our sales calls so we can just release them to Twitter and show everyone the fucking dark energy that is being summoned on these calls to get these people to pay thousands of dollars.
Exactly,
I'm
do
working
that.
on that.
100%, 100%,
You have to
100%.
do this because all these gurus on money Twitter, they all talk a lot of stuff, right? But when it comes to showing their receipts, they're all run. But if you start with showing the receipts, the entire Twitter space will be yours.
That's
I'm
right.
down to do that, Alan. I'll start recording all my shit.
Yeah, me and Marcus are already recording a lot of shit.
Good.
Not just sales calls. We're also recording like internal meetings talking about how we're running the company with like handling so many clients and so many fucking deadlines and sales calls we're not prepared for with like automations and
Yeah.
all kinds of crap. Because I got a tech background as well. That's a fucking masterclass in fucking running a business right there. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff to be done there. And yeah, releasing sales calls, we would fucking there's nothing like that out there. That's the thing. Like people always ask where I learned sales. Where did you learn sales as well? Like I had that same question, but then I realized like it's the same as mine, where you just fucking roll with it. You know, you sit there and you're like, you just channel the fucking
Yeah.
energy of the universe and just be straight headed and just talk. You know, just think logically.
Yeah.
Get out of your head, get your head off your ass, and just stop worrying about shit and just have a normal conversation. You know?
Yeah, I tried doing sales scripts and I tried doing closing scripts and I couldn't fucking do it. Like the best I can do is an outline where I have like a couple questions. That's the best I can do. But like if I can't have a script, bro. This shit feels way too fucking awkward. And motherfuckers just pick up on that
Yeah.
shit so fast.
Yeah. Another thing about this is, so now we're in fucking the last 10 minutes. Jar's got to go. We've got to go. But last 10 minutes, wanted to just talk about some fucking open-ended shit. I just thought about this. I guess the reason most sales gurus are fucking dorks on here is because they're trying to cater to a different audience. I'm not interested in turning a geek into a rich man. But these sales gurus have to appeal to like a wider audience, and maybe there's an inescapable fact, which is the fact that some people just don't have the sauce to do this. So trying to teach them this dark triad kind of shit, they'll just completely blow it up. They'll just not do well. So maybe they have to do all these scripts and stuff just because they're trying to work with like worse material. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's also just like lack of skill. Like I learned my speaking skills and not to say just by doing cold calls relentlessly all the time. Like doing a single cold call and then looking back at it and recording it and be like, okay, I sounded like a dumbass there. Next time I'm not gonna fucking do that. And too many of these people, like, you hop on, like exactly the guy earlier, you hopped on a sales call with him, and he's sitting there, he's like, so what this call's about, we're gonna talk about, like, bro, what the fuck are you doing wasting my time? If someone sends me, like, when people send me voice notes and shit, and they're saying, so, bro, what I've been doing today is, bro, I get fucking pissed. I would start, like, I fucking, if it's on Telegram, I just do the translate shit, so I don't have to listen to it, because that shit's annoying as fuck. But it's like, it's seriously, bro, like, people need to just start analyzing themselves and being like, how good am I actually? Are these scripts actually that good? Or are people buying from me because they feel bad? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, scripts in general are kind of like small dick energy. You know, like if you need a script to get on a call unprepared and take all the money someone's got and make them mortgage their house, are you really a G? You know what I'm saying? Like I make a lot of moves just to draw a tangent here because we're finishing up. But I draw a lot of wisdom in life. I make a lot of decisions by just picking the most badass fucking move. Same with fucking coming to Norway. Like it's a stupid fucking decision. I had to pay like $1,500 for a one-way flight across Europe from Romania to Norway. It should have been only like $250, but I had to get business class because, well, it's obvious. And I had to pick like the environmental friendly package that Lufthansa Airlines gave me because, like the trees,
The fuck?
everyone needs trees, right? You need to save the environment, bro. Trenton, you gotta pay attention, man.
Fuck.
Every time you fly, you gotta pick the fucking environmental friendly package. I don't know why they charge you 400 euros more to fucking save the environment. Maybe they go plant fucking 400 trees, some shit. Or maybe it just goes to an executive's bonus. Who knows? But at least my conscience rests easy at night. So, like, the reason I took that move, my point is it was just the most badass fucking move. Fucking pay whatever you need, go across the country, right into the belly of the beast, where fucking there are human rights and, you're not allowed to carry guns around. What a terrible fucking society. Place where I don't belong, just to fucking go punch Marcus in the face. And if that's all I do, and I just leave the next day, pay another fucking €1,500 to go business class with eco-friendly on Lufthansa, out the fuck of nowhere, I'll be a fucking badass.
True.
So my point is, going back to the sales calls, if you need a script and you do it, even if it works with your fucking amazing script, you still use a script, you ain't a badass, are you? You know? I would rather fail than be a fucking dork and win. You know what I'm saying? So fuck script. I'm with you on that. Marcus, you've been extremely silent. You've been letting me take the burden of this entire Twitter space. It's your fucking audience, bro. I don't know anybody here except Trenton, Jara,
Yeah,
and
that's
Mina.
right. That's right. Well, I've been working on some
And
stuff
William.
on the back end while you've been talking.
Yeah, he's been fucking doing some work. He's being very, very. What are you doing right now? Actually, let's lead some fucking guys. Just curiosity. Tell us what you're doing, Marcus, in the back end. It's gonna lead on to the next space where we talk about fucking running a company with
Well,
automations. I think that'll be
all
pretty
right.
cool.
So I think step one is to buy a fucking dictaphone to Alan so he can record all his shit.
The fuck you call me? Dickhead? What? Dictaphone?
A fucking dictaphone. Yeah, that's right. A recording.
What the fuck's a dictaphone?
Dictaphone, that's a recording device. So you can just press play and talk. And then I can get...
I'm pretty sure it's not called a fucking dictaphone.
It's called a Kodak VRC350 voice recorder. Basically.
Where the fuck did you get dictaphone?
Dictaphone, my friend. Anyways, I'm going to buy that to you. And then I'll get all the fucking voice files, right? And then
No, talk about fucking big picture strategy. Sell it, my friend. Help me out here. You already make me do the whole space. At least help fucking promote it.
Okay, we're going to automate all our sales calls and all our meetings into a huge database that updates itself. So we don't have to do any work, basically. So the whole
So
strat enables us to zoom the fuck out and do high leverage tasks without us even breaking a sweat on all this manual bullshit that I'm doing right now.
So
Mina,
walk me through that, Marcus. Walk me through that. How are you going to automate that?
I'll send you an invoice. Find out. Haha. Got him, Trenton. Got him. No,
You
just
go right
kidding.
ahead.
Yeah, just kidding. Marcus, you want to go through it or you want me
Yeah,
to?
you can go through it. That's cool.
So, Mina, basically, when fucking the US government took down al-Baghdadi, the fucking big dog running ISIS, Islamic State Iraq Syria, a world-renowned terrorist organization. You think they sent in fucking 12 guys, Navy SEALs, with guns, fucking going to the middle of Pakistan or some shit and shot him in the face on his porch? They were fucking stalking him for months. They had drones overhead. They had like fallbacks on fallbacks. Trenton's in the US Army. He knows the shit. There's like intel, there's multiple divisions. Why do you think the US Army is so big? Why do you think there's so many different fucking everyone has a role, right? So if you think about that scenario, but on a sales call in running a business, what I want is I'll tell you a fucking story. We had a call, me and Trenton, just now. We spent maybe 5-7 minutes talking about trying to remember what we talked about yesterday. Those 5-7 minutes could have been used to make more fucking money. But instead, we tried to fucking figure out what the fuck we were talking about yesterday. Imagine if every single call I had with Trenton, Mina, was recorded, automatically transcribed, and fucking put into like a little automation that just pulls out all the relevant information. So it automatically understands the text in the call. It's like, yeah, the call was with Trenton because it hears Trenton's voice, and it's like summarize of points. Like, Trent asked this question, I answered with this. These are the points. These are the next action steps. Call you again at this time, tomorrow. And then all that shit gets parsed out, put into a database, automatically turns into events on Trenton's file, automatically turns into tasks. Maybe Marcus needs to do something, I need to do something, I need to prepare some resource or whatever for him by tomorrow, by the next call. And then before the next call with Trent, I just get to run a command, get a little PDF fucking printout of all the things we talked about on previous calls, all the action steps that are still pending, his fucking goals on a timeline, and fucking everything we talked about on the previous call. So I know I get exactly up to speed. So I get in call, I'm like, Trent, how much money you make yesterday? Fucking great. Straight into it. 45 seconds in. Yesterday we talked about A, B, C. What are you at on A? What are you at on B? None of this bullshit like, oh yeah, I think we talked about this. Think what? It's all fucking recorded. It's all the transcripts are there. I have a fucking PDF FBI profile of every one of our previous conversations. So something like that. That's like what I was interested in on the sales calls. And also just tracking progression for clients because we do coaching, right? So seeing, how they progress, what problems they're running into, seeing like, okay, we did this strategy for this guy and it took like this long, but this new guy is kind of similar to that guy. So what if we just shorten that timeline a bit? So it's like seeing a lot of insights from your data, if that makes sense.
Well, that is perfect. Oh my God, that is perfect. That you're solving people's problems a lot faster and on a larger scale. Like I was saying yesterday, you get paid in proportion to how many people you serve. That means you're multiplying the number of people you're serving at a speed that is much higher than if it was just you and Marcus doing it. Well, this is amazing. I love this.
Yeah, it's so curiosity selling for the next space. We're going to talk about that in a lot of detail in one of the next spaces. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow, but it's going to be one of the next few ones. So stay tuned. Follow me and Marcus. It's usually hosted on his account. But that's a fucking game changer because that's what allows me and Marcus to roll around smoking cigars, fucking sparring and flying out Trenton to go and pick some fucking millionaire's brain in like the middle of downtown Moldova and still serve like 100, 150 coaching clients and fucking transform their lives because we have a full FBI fucking profile of every single.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.